Long before we're a cashless society.
This is where I get scared because it's too similar to the mark of the beast. It's too similar to exactly what it says. You won't be able to trade, you won't be able to do anything unless you have the mark.
Many American businesses have already gone cashless as well. They'll pretend it's all about convenience, but really, it's all about control.
Like India, Estonia, Korea, there's a long list, have taken national steps to provide citizens who wish with a secure form of digital identification that can be presented online. A secure digital ID, biometrically synced to your smartphone.
Our world is fast becoming one huge multinational, and sitting at the helm of affairs are people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, and other technological juggernauts. That's why it's easy for their microchips to gain so much ground rapidly, and we should really be concerned because the mark of the beast, as told in Revelation, might just be right before us. Yes, Elon Musk has designed a coin-sized device that is surgically inserted into the skull, and ultra-thin wires are used to connect it to the brain to create a brain-computer interface, BCI. The disc would record brain activity and transfer it over a standard Bluetooth link to a device like a smartphone. I think more than anything else, we should be concerned about the increasing invention of this sort of digital ID and biometric technology, because there's a dark motive behind it all, and I'm afraid very few people with foresight and discernment can see them for what they truly are, the signs of the end of days.
We're headed toward a one world global government with one massive, monstrous leader.
I know you think these technologies are meant to offer ease of life, business transactions, and comprehensive control over cash flow. But then again, there lies the bone of contention: control. It means the potential for these technologies to lead to a one-world government. When Joe Rogan, in an interview with George Janko, heard of these things during a podcast, despite his cynicism, he was forced to acknowledge that something was about to hit the world hard, and so many people would be caught unawares. The rapid growth of technological trends in the world today, and now the spread of AIs, underscores the importance of spreading the gospel to those who seem beyond reach as potential converts, despite their current blindness to their sin and lack of true free will. Yes, it's more like all we are left to do is use technology to spread the danger of over-reliance on technology. AIs have become little gods. I wouldn't be surprised that many worship it, not literally bowing down to it in obeisance, but it is by how much humans are willing to invest to see it continue to expand. The Bible warns in 2 Timothy 3 verses 2 and 3, "For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good." Suppose we study the above passages and try to connect them to the emerging digital identification systems. We will be shocked, with an expression of deepening anxiety about the level of control these technologies offer. It's incredible and horrifying at the same time. Technology is a neutral tool that can be used for good or evil purposes, depending on the intention and morality of the user. Technology can enhance our spiritual growth, communication, and ministry, as long as we use it wisely and responsibly. There are many examples of how technology has helped spread the gospel, connect believers, and serve the needy. It is part of God's creation, and humans are called to exercise dominion and stewardship over it. Genesis 1 verse 28. However, inventions such as Elon Musk's Neuralink are questionable. The book of Revelation speaks of the emergence of the lawless one, the Antichrist, who will cause the whole world to deviate from the way. He will deceive, manipulate, and seek to control all means of buying and selling by a devilish device implanted on people's foreheads, the mark of the beast. No one would be able to buy or to sell unless he has that mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. He who has understanding, let him calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. Revelation chapter 13 verses 17 to 18. I hope you know that the number 666 can come in different ways. The Bible lets us know that Satan is a deceiver who will deceive men into thinking they are accepting a new technology, not knowing the real intentions behind it until it's too late. Imagine a being who deceived 1/3 of angels in heaven. That's how powerful Satan can be. Some of these modern upgrades are dangerous and deceptive inventions that will lead many away from God. It will distract them from having a relationship with God and drag everyone deep into sin, manipulating their minds and emotions. Don't be deceived, brethren. The Antichrist and his followers will use technology to deceive, persecute, and control the world. we can see how technology is already enabling false teachings, idolatry, immorality, and violence. Imagine what more havoc it will create when devices like the Neuralink gets into the people's skins. Remember what Daniel 7 verse 8 says, "I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things." This passage describes a future ruler who will rise to power and oppose God and his people. He will have a distinctive appearance, a boastful mouth, and a cunning mind. He will use technology to magnify himself, change times and laws, and stop the regular worship of God. In 2 Thessalonians 2 verses 3 and 4 and 9 to 12, the Bible talks about the man of lawlessness, also identified as the Antichrist. He will exalt himself above God and display himself as God in the temple. He will perform signs and wonders with the power of Satan and deceive those who do not love the truth. It frustrates God's word when people are indifferent to religious and spiritual matters. This sets the stage for us to be more committed to prayer and reading the prophecy in the word. There is a need to take note of the drastic changes that are taking place globally today. Every minute, a new invention is made. While we, as surviving species of the universe, have to adopt and adapt, it is imperative not to lose sight of what is important. When I talk about technology, I mean there are the types of inventions you've never seen before and will probably never see. For instance, businesses, particularly in China and some US states, are implementing digital IDs and biometric technology, allowing for comprehensive control. This technology, which can track where people go, what they buy, and even their emotions, is a step towards a one-world government. A biblical passage in the book of Revelation talks about the mark of the beast, emphasizing its description of a system requiring a mark for buying and selling. If you can connect this to the emerging digital identification systems, you'll start expressing concern about the increasing level of sophistication these technologies offer. Something is not quite right. There is a case that also mentions an experiment where AI was able to map out people's locations using only Wi-Fi signals. This points to the potential for even greater control by technological advances.
But also the metaverse, new space technologies, and I could go on and on. Synthetic biology. Our life in 10 years from now will be completely different, very much affected, and who masters those technologies in some way will be the master of the world.
Several upgrades and technological advancements will shape the world in the future, and that won't even be the worst. The worst is that those who master the use of technology will have control over them and ultimately the world. These individuals are working according to the power of the prince of the air, or Satan, and they are blind to their sin and lack true free will. Satan will so much corrupt them, and in turn, corrupt the world to the extent that no man will know what truth is anymore. The book of Matthew 6, verse 19, speaks of a time when all men will turn away from God and pursue earthly things. They will heap for themselves treasures on earth, and this will shift their hearts away from God. Despite this, we should continue to dwell on the importance of spreading the gospel to these individuals as they still live among us and represent the mission field. Even those whom God has abandoned due to their actions can still be reached with the message of salvation. While there is a point of no return for some individuals, for those still alive, the grace of God is keeping them among us as potential converts, and we should endeavor to reach out to them with the gospels of Jesus Christ. More than that, we should be ever ready and willing to put our fleshly desires down and focus on living lives that will shine as examples to others.
Yeah. That's a lot of people. I'm sure there are a lot of listeners and followers and subscribers to your channel that, like me, are different now. They've changed, and to their family members, to people that might have been close to them at one time. Mm-hmm. This is a little bit of a different subject, but it's a thought that I think is important, which is, I've got family members that are in the darkness. They see me. They don't understand me.
In the latter part of the show, we see how Joe Rogan expresses his frustration with those who don't want to accept that this evil is already happening in our world. But it's important to note that God's Spirit does not struggle with man. He gives us free will and choice to either decide to follow him or go the way of the world. But I hope that in the end, everyone sees these technologies for what they truly are, through the lenses of those who invented them, a means of manipulation and control. That's it in today's episode. Kindly reach down the comments section and let me know what you think about this video. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.